Thanks for sticking with us. Now, how can you help someone who may not be ready to receive that help? I spoke with a woman who knows all too well what it's like to experience homelessness and the CEO of a nonprofit that's assisting others through a special ministry.
There's a building off of 281 and McCullough. That's like an emergency room made of social services.
It could be a family that's working and they have an apartment, but maybe their brakes are no longer working and they have to make a big payment for that. Now all of a sudden they can't figure out how to pay their electric bill.
Dawn White-Fosdick is the president and CEO of Christian Assistance Ministries, and she's been involved with organizations that support people living on the streets of San Antonio since 1998.
I did a lot of preventative work, and I really sort of saw what poverty did to people and the fact that often people are struggling and really not just need a hand up, but they really need an enormous amount of help.
CAM was founded by 9 downtown churches. The grassroots operation is run by volunteers who show grace through action to those in need, regardless of how much or how little they may need.
And lots of times people will ask me, well, how do you know they need what they need? Or how do you have regulations? And sure, we manage our money and try to make sure that no one takes advantage of things. But for the most part, I would say back to anyone who is going to come someplace and wait for a long time to get $10 to pay for their ID or just to get a little sack lunch if they didn't need it.
Dawn makes all of this happen with the help of volunteers and staff, but she also works closely with someone who knows how difficult the transition can be from street to civilian life.
I was on the street for maybe about a year before I got sober.
Valarie Salas is the Director of Homeless Care Services at Christian Assistance Ministries. One of her roles is to address stereotypes people may have about the homeless population, so more people can get the help they need faster.
So some of the stigmas are that it's a choice, and that's just not true. There's many layers behind that. They've got untreated mental health issues. Some struggle with substance abuse issues. Huge, significant childhood traumas that keep them from being able to be in a shelter setting or certain types of settings and things like that.
And although volunteering time and handing out things like water bottles and food can help people with immediate assistance, there are also ways to assist with long-term impact.
You know, we can go out in the community and buy some hygiene packs, we can go buy some pizzas for them to feed, spend $30. But did you know that $30 can buy a Texas ID for someone, and that an ID can open up so many doors and windows for housing opportunities, for medical treatment, for employment?
In some cases, individuals aren't ready to leave the streets. That's where CAM steps in to help.
We have a free mailbox. We pay for things like a prescription that they can't fill. We might help them get places. We have showers, bus tickets, daily sack lunches.
A refuge people can come to on their own time, with their unique needs, without facing judgment.
We use those basic services kind of as an opportunity to engage in that relationship, so we can figure out and do some active listening and figure out what's the root of keeping them out on the street, or we're just seeking a higher quality of life.
If you'd like to volunteer or learn more about CAM Ministries, visit ChristianAssistanceMinistry.org.